Today in the bunker, we're going to paint some cars suitable for the Wasteland. Recently I went to the model train show and picked up, these were like $2 a piece, just these used various cars and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is glue the wheels so they don't turn, and then we're going to rattle can prime these black, and then we'll start adding rust and get them suitably dirtied up for the Wasteland. A little bit of super glue and some baking soda will hold the wheels right where you want them. I just do that so that in case they're on an incline they don't roll. Some of these are a tad undersized, but once you dirty them up and rust them, they make fantastic terrain bits to kind of be in the background. Some of them are a little larger and fit well with the figures, so just kind of use your judgment. Especially when you pick these out at the show, you can kind of tell. Anything that's O scale should work fairly well. I rattle canned these black and then did a very, very heavy zenithal of a rust color primer. You could just do the rust color primer and skip the black entirely, but it makes the inside shaded also. I painted them inside. So we're going to let that cure for a little bit, and then we'll start applying some color. All right, to apply some color, I'm just going to use a piece of sponge, a little bit of craft paint, in this case kind of a grass green color, and just sponge that on. Go heavier in places where rust might not lay as bad, and lighter on things like the top of the fender and all that, and just kind of do it to taste. Rust is kind of subjective, so it depends how rusty you want it to look, how long it's been there, that sort of thing. So just kind of go nuts and have a good time with it. Once you sponge on your initial color, inevitably you'll get up on spots you don't want to get on, so just take a suitable rust color. In this case I use nutmeg, but any rusty brown color will work, and sponge back over those spots that you want. That'll help build up some texture as well. If you do it with a brush, then be sure to stipple it, and that will help build up that rusty texture. I didn't go too nuts on the texture here. You could add baking soda, all kinds of things, and really make it look crusty. Another thing on tires is I paint them a very dark gray. I use a German gray from Vallejo. It's kind of a black gray color. So you want that faded look. You can even add a wash to that to help darken that up. And I took some Strong Tone, Army Painter Strong Tone, and used that as a pin wash around all the details to help that door and the fenders pop around the lights and everything else. So don't skimp on that. That'll really help sell the idea that, hey, that's a car and not just a pile of something. Another thing you can do to add some detail is to take some clear plastic packaging and glue it in place where glass would be. I don't know how well that, there we go. You can kind of see that. And then once you put a clear coat on there, that will dull over and make it look dirty. Or you could add it after you've dull coated the rest of the model and make it look like fairly clean glass, depending on how old you want the car to look. But I have a tenuous relationship with super glue at best. So today that's the only one I'm able to get stuck in there the way I want it. The other ones, I'd have to sit here for an hour and hold them, and I don't have that much patience. So that's a completely optional thing. It's really cool if you can get it to work, so I encourage you to try it, but don't get too hung up on it. Alright, so there's a couple of our cars done. These same techniques work on diecasts. They work on these sort of hollow cars. They work on Hotwheels, so if you're doing Gaslands, this is an excellent way to dirty up cars for the Wasteland there. Any scale, any type of car, this works if you want it to look rusty and nasty. So hopefully this has inspired you to make something awesome. I hope it helps, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day.